from a historic bridge spanning to Ohio and spanning 84 years. Then an 11-year-old boy returns to the Dallas Cowboys football stadium. He turned into an $80 million fad. Here's how the incredible demolition was caught on camera in 25 minutes. Bell Penn State are each other's jade in July 2021. A small community 140 minutes away by car. Some local farmers noticed their granaries were dying. Usually has been in pretty bad shape for a while. And any day could be his last, especially. So to avoid costly accidents, our farmers do it themselves. At least they know what they're doing. You can see part of the stash cut into a tree to make sure it falls in the correct direction. Maybe someone on the other side is hitting the silo with a sledgehammer. The way the silo pours it is the coolest part. Steubenberg Bridge treated for 80 years. He fits well. Connect with the communities of Steubenville, Ohio and Wilton, West Virginia, but on February 21, 2012. According to Bloomberg, you can see this blowing up while crossing the bridge. The same team wrapped Joe with 13 pounds of detonating core and 130 pounds of the same status quo explosives. Business looks like heaven on the ghost of the bridge. In 2009, the ground rotted. Government delays create hindrance. The demolition and cleanup cost about $2,300,000. And you can see the workers knocking the debris out of the river. The Dallas Cowboys, who like him. He loves it so much they built a stadium in the mid-2000s for about $8.75 a dollar. Arlington, Texas is a $3.25 contribution. Try to move the team behind the guard. Is there no professional football stadium anyway? April 11, 2010. Watching all these accusations go hand in hand perfectly. If you want, you can use a metronome to chain the explosions to nearly 3.0 pounds to blow up Texas Stadium. Thank goodness. He took the seat. The Cowboys played 38 seasons at Old Stadium. The blast key that an 11-year-old boy named Casey Rogers turned with intent. Sponsor this demolition, call it a cheddar explosion. This is part of a broad marketing campaign. Savannah and the base were built in the 1950s to refine nuclear materials for nuclear weapons. It covers 310 square miles near South Carolina. The Savannah River in Asia is named after it. The U.S. Department of Energy owns and operates the entire site. Turns out it was possible to fix it with reactors. Like a tributary of the Indian and some branches of the Savannah River, if it got hot water. The idea is to pump the water out of the reactor and cool it down, so he doesn't hurt plants and animals that can stick tight. Bees built down-turned for 150 feet structure into an $80 million span. Since this is a terrible waste of taxpayer funds, authorities removed it. Officials installed 3,860 explosives on cooling towers. All explosives were made of This is the second largest cooling tower removal in seconds in the world. How to get there in SRS? Go to June 27, 2022, 12 years after the tower collapsed. Crews blew up a similar structure in the Chinese city of Hangzhou. But this time, it's not about the bees. Work on the 492-foot tower ceased in May of that year. Demolitions like this in the US take years to happen. In China, only a few months. It is the largest cooling tower demolition case in Chinese history. London lights up blast site. Commemorate this historic event. Slow motion of the demolition scene shows all such simultaneous explosions. And then he collapsed. Look how he folded himself. It looks like someone compressed an air tour. According to the BBC, when the Irontide Power Station opened in 1969, it was one of the largest of its kind in the UK. It generates enough energy to power 750,000 homes. But in 2015, the plant stopped generating electricity. The new plan is to blow it up and build a town, where locals hope to save the iconic pink cooling tower. But on December 6, 2019, they did not meet the strict historic preservation standards for the red towers there. Like a Chinese tower. Fuck them before they can even manipulate him. A major milestone in the 17-month demolition project. Staff had to remove 16,000 tons of noodles from inside, since the twin towers are next to the railway tracks. Due to the size and number of stations required to do it. But that hasn't stopped locals from flocking to nearby hill. People sitting down with cameras. Marysville, Michigan is a small town north of Detroit. They used to be mighty. Marysville is home to an old coal-fired power plant. And put the property on the market in 2012 with a company called Commercial Development Corp. They want to see the hotel. Those bikes at the docks, important things to do first. The power plant must be dismantled. A group of Canadians watches the demolition across the St. Clair River. But to be honest, he almost crossed the border into Canada. Quote, looks like a movie through a support beam. "12, 4, 7. You can barely see the support volume under heavy pressure in the Shimonoseki area. There are now only 224 active coal plants left in the US. Glasgow is the most populous city in Scotland, with a population of 630,000. Gordcraft is a large apartment building of 8 built in its heyday in the 1960s. By October 2015, they can accommodate 4,700 people. As you saw in BBC's unofficial history, two stubborn twin towers refused to collapse. So they decided they would rather play it safe. Hondo Apartments is Glasgow's tallest building. If you live on the 30th floor, you're really taller than everyone in town. Drugs scattered in the hall. Lack of amenities makes life quite difficult. Things are getting worse. Well, the power station is a large coal-fired power plant north of Sydney, Australia. It was built in the 1960s. Satellite powering East South Wales, July 2012. Delta Power, the owner of the power station, we're talking $1 worth of repairs. It's cheaper to make his pour and sell the 505. So that's what they do. These massive chimneys were the first large pieces to be removed. Their height is a little over 508 feet. Both buildings contain 6,500 tons of concrete. Liberty Industrial Demolition. The company that went to demolish the facility said, Iowa State University. The university is one of the most famous universities in the United States, located about 30 minutes north of Des Moines. They also played a key role in the Manhattan Project during World War II. Number Theory and Nadartu student residences. Built in the mid-1960s. Decided to tear them all down. Two 2,000 dormitories can accommodate 600 people. They have carpeted lounges and elevators. But in 1966, for example, in 1970, at the age of 5, Ting became the first coeducational dormitory director of the ESO campus. 1966. He is considered one of the best residence halls in the country. As time goes by, students need more facilities. Demolition workers prepare to demolish Gaohongfa in Haikou, China at Christmas 2012. They packed the explosives at a safe distance. Look at the dust and debris. We do not know why the night market decided to demolish the building. For example, later they owed more than $3,001. In Michigan, the center of the bit rate used to be the processor hi-fi department store. It wasn't fully completed until 1946. Despite this, battlefield 2.1 million square feet. More than 600. Zero items sold in more than 200 exhibition areas from 16,000 suppliers. At its peak in 1954, 12,000 employees served 100,000 customers a day. Helium earns more than $1.631. Late 1950s and early 1960s. Urban population decline. After more than 90 years in business. Over the next 15 years. Unforgettable memories of bygone eras. However, in 1998, the demolition works were carried out by a controlled blasting corporation. The explosion was a marvel of modern engineering. Tear down. Hudson's buildings are a bittersweet moment for many Detroiters. Because they have long, not a lover's thing. He is also a symbol of the city's rich history and past glory, yet others believe that when demolished. Today the land is home to the Hudson Lands Development. It's a mixed-use building due for completion in 2024. Thanks for watching.